Greetings, Keishlings. Keish Prime here with my live reaction of My Hero Academia, Chapter 284. Okay. Last time, Deku finally activated Float. We don't fully know if it just say if you jump up into the air, do you just then stay aloft? Or do you actually have levitation and or full-on flight? Don't really know. But I guess in a way he probably could simulate, because even All Might kind of would. I forget which smash he supposedly was using, but it's like he would essentially kick off from the air, and the air pressure he creates with his legs would allow him to jump further and essentially kind of fly in a way. He probably did that way more in his prime than in the 6 years that he's been injured and everything, but. So, if Float does just kind of keep you in the air, I could definitely see Deku doing way more than what All Might ever could in his prime then. But anyway, let's see here. Okay? It is just kind of cool and also kind of ominous the way that he has the black whip kind of holding everybody, but I mean it makes sense, but it's why bring them closer to the target that could possibly end them all? Anyway, he is spiraling up into the air. If Shigaraki touches the ground, there will be another huge wave of destruction. He has to be dealt with in the air. Okay, that makes more sense why you're bringing them out of danger, because where else could you put them? Okay. Reason to it, reason. My control is getting unstable. This is bad. Oh, yeah, because you can see it here in the panel. Okay, so 3 Quirks simultaneously being used. Probably his limit right now. But please take care of Gran Torino and the others. Okay, so he's dropping them off now, and he's telling them, it's get him to a hospital. He's my mentor. One of my mentors. Deku really does have quite the list of mentors at this point, doesn't he? Oh, Lord. Shoto, deal with the injured. Okay, so freaking Endeavor's son, get the old man to care, How pathetic. The one who should be up there right now is me, the number 1. Hold on, Deku. Okay, so what's Bakugo going to do? You're the one who should be furthest from that guy. Erasure is already gone. Are you saying the Quirk? And that he can't use it anymore? Or are you saying that Aizawa is dead? Because really both of those are bad. One, the latter, is particularly worse. Then who else is going to keep Shigaraki up in the air? Okay, so what? Is Bakugo and Endeavor going to just be blah, 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 just blasting up into the air? It's take that, you Shigaraki bastard. You Shigaraki. I could have come up with something better other than just saying his name. Shigaraki, you bastard, is what I should have said. Alright. If you like the sky so much, then I'll take OFA off your hands and send you straight to heaven, and I'll make sure those old geezers down there keep you company. Who are you talking about? Most of them are 40 or younger. I don't really know how old Endeavor is, but he's only the second oldest amongst the characters on the ground. That's kind of weird for you to say, Shigaraki. And Deku's not going to have any of that because he's on fuel. He's just fueled by rage. Leave the hell alone. Don't you dare hurt anyone else. And now he's just rushing in with what I'm just going to call his black gauntlet. Or something similar to that, because that's what I called it in the power-up video when I essentially envisioned this kind of thing. Just a bit more tightly woven around the arm. But either way, still love it. Deku's just kind of I guess he's propelling himself, so maybe Float doesn't enable full-on flight. Bakugo looks he's kind of pissed off. God damn it, I'm so useless. You want to take part in our training? Okay. What is this? Oh. Okay. For a minute, Uraka looks very cute in the shorter hairstyle. I don't know what. So this is like in the winter because it's like the trees are bare and the wind is blowing. We got Sero and Suya there. Suyu. Say what? You want us to do? Let's see here. I'm sorry to ask this of you guys when you're so busy. I just want to get your advice for a new power. You mean Black Whip? You can use it already, though you can't, or though you can. Though can't you? Well, I don't know why I was having a time with it. What has happened to your hair, Deku? He's starting to look like Brooke. Never mind. That's what's up with your hair? That's what I'm saying. This just happened after a series of losses during my tie-up Kachan with Black Whip training. Oh, okay. I couldn't capture him at all, so I want to ask Sero-kun for tips on how to handle fast-moving targets since he uses his quirk similarly. Okay, I like this. Bakugo wins by touching Deku and avoiding his whips. Okay. Is there nothing in the rules about explosions? Bakugo-kun, you're as dreadful as ever. I mean, what villain is going to go easy on him, so this training is necessary. Deku's the one who wanted some real combat in the first place. See what I mean, And she's just over there hitting him on the head. It's like, how can I help? Even though I'm still getting used to the wire. Oh, her grapple thing, right? Let's see. If it's skills you want, shouldn't you ask Aizawa-sensei? I mean, true, he also has, like, binding tech. Or not binding tech in the normal sense of tech, but, like, his binding cloth, and he uses binding tactics. So, yeah. And here comes All Might with I hope he can learn how to hit the brakes while airborne from your Quirk, young Uraraka. Really? Learn to hit the brakes while airborne from your... Okay. Sorry if you can hear my mom coughing in the background. Deku-kun's always hopping around, though. Like a bunny. Aw. That's sad, because now I'm thinking of the bunny hero. Oh. Poor Mirko. He's improving his time in the air along with his power. Ho ho ho, or ho. What? I thought it was ho ho ho, but it's just ho. Still with that hair. Because he needs to keep pushing his limits when in the air. As for Aizawa-kun, he's currently occupied with other pressing matters. Yeah, trying to get his old buddy back. Yeah. That just doesn't work out. But now we know the full time frame of when this is going on. I'm writing down notes on everyone's techniques, including Mr. Aizawa's. Things you can share with me, like how to use your bodies and what it feels like and such. And they're all just kind of like, yeah, let's help. Okay, they're both floating in the air now. Think of it like swimming in the air and balance yourself with your arms and legs. Yeah, that's it. So that's how it is. I get it. And thrust with air force? Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay, so that's I like that. How about you practice your Black Whip in that position? Yes, sir. Okay, so All Might's like, do the Black Whip. He's working hard, huh? Float is similar to zero gravity in that they both suspend one's body mid... Okay, so it isn't full-on flight. Alright. So it really makes me wonder, how... Was she a hero before or after the fact of getting All for One? Or One for All, my bad. Bah. Those damn names. Um, but yeah. Surely she would have been a hero prior, but it's like, how useful is that power otherwise? Anyway, first you need to be able to picture it. He'll be able to contain the outburst, and all that's left is to keep his focus on the cork and keep in mind the idea of, I want to fly. There's a water bottle there. Okay, random panel. I was trying to see if I could tell who that was on the bottle. Is that frickin' Gang Orca? It might be. Anyway, let's see here. You can't fool them forever, old man. Oh. Things are different than it used to be when Deku only had one cork. Straighten your back more. Think like you're shooting it out, as opposed to just releasing it. Okay, so he's got Tsuyu up there now, and he's like trying to grab her with the whip while in midair. Sooner or later, they're going to realize the nature of his quirk. If it were up to me, I would have discouraged him from showing off any of his other quirks, but I would rather not have them manifest explosively in the middle of combat like Black Whip. Just like you understood that night. It's for the best for him and those around him to be able to see him grow exponentially, to prepare for the inevitable future for when the truth is revealed. I mean, this is true. You can't really hide it when you don't know when these quirks are going to, just come about. And it's like, it's better to have people that can maybe seemingly give him some level of, control over the quirks that he does know about. So them being aware of it, is inevitable, as they say. So, yeah. The secret can't be kept. I mean, as soon as he got Black Whip, I think everyone was like, he kind of cheating. Hey, Todoroki, he related to you all of a sudden. Basically having two quirks, But yeah, so him having some friends that can help him train the quirks that he is aware of is definitely to his benefit. After all, those who seek power are not exclusively villains. As much as I hate to admit it, I have my complete trust in Deku. Bakugo, that character growth. But in your notebook with all the successors, the fourth holder quirk was scribbled out. That's the one I think that had, presumably, it was just kind of random on my part. It's like, he looks more beastly than the others. And I was thinking, maybe he has, an animal transformation, or maybe hyper senses, super enhanced sensory, maybe not eyesight, but maybe night vision, scent, smell, and hearing and kind of stuff. But it's like, if that's being scribbled out, what power did he have? The 5th, 6th, and 7th have signed theirs so willingly. So what gives? Wait. The 6th. 7th I get. 5th I get, because 5th is Black Whip, 7th is Float. Who is number 6 then? That's the coat dude, right? It's like, when did we learn his power? I'm confused. Anyway, I noticed a slight hesitation when the topic of successors were brought up. What exactly are you hiding from us? Tell me. Have you realized something? Perhaps the true nature of One for All? No. Oh god, okay. All my getting angry at Bakugo now. Well, I don't know for sure yet. It's hard to assess anything with no evidence. I'm still concerned for young Midoriya. Yeah, why can't I say his name right? Midoriya's growth. Yours as well. Oh. Is the 6th user not actually the one we think it is, then? Is this kind of giving hints to the whole, frickin', Bakugo? At least Bakugo, but people also kind of throw, Kirishima in there as being the two, the two blacked out silhouettes that we don't know of those users. But I always thought they were the second and third user. Maybe not. And then, like, they time traveled or something and they gave their quirk to Deku. Well, not Deku, but you know what I mean. They end up giving it to Deku, but yeah. So that would be interesting. Let's see. That bastard doesn't realize how special he is. Must have been part of his upbringing, even now, where he's advanced so far. It used to annoy the hell out of me. I wanted to keep my distance from him. I pushed back my own feelings of weakness that manifested within me. Oh, your Vegeta moment is coming. And I bullied him for it. You can say that helped him by participating in his training. Is part of that atonement, is that right? It's like a tail. I see. Think of it as an extension of your body. Are they talking about Black Whip? Because it ain't a tail. It's coming out your hands. The thought possibly has never crossed young Midoriya's mind. But you're a lot like Endeavor in that way. Oh God. Always chasing after the mighty hero me. You know, and it's like, and now you're falling into those footsteps, aren't you? I never had the foresight to think ahead until it was too late. There will come a time when we will converse about this again. I may not be in a position to say this, but Endeavor, you better not miss this time. Oh, okay, never mind. That 2 different conversations there. Endeavor, you better not miss this time. Okay, so Bakugo is just freaking bullying Endeavor now. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that capture training with Black Whip is paying off because he got freaking Shigaraki now. It looks like he's about to slam him to the ground. Even at 100% strength, he's resisting my hits, but I can see that his regeneration is slowing. I'm dealing damage. I already had destroyed his left arm twice with 100%. Shigaraki, who inherited the power of all for one. Okay, so he knows that he destroyed, or Deku's arm has been damaged. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but he's assessing it. One for all will be the power to topple that of your all for one. Gotta end this right here, right now. Okay, so Deku just has a real distorted face as he's like winding up to just smash freaking Shigaraki's face in. I'm channeling everything I got into this blow. Whatever the consequences, that just really bad dialogue placement there. So you just busted him right up in the chest. Like, I think part of his chest cavity is now just gone. You love to see it. And that is the end of the chapter. Okay. I like that we got to see more of the... I've been thinking for a while, I haven't mentioned it in any of the reactions or anything, but Sero really would be like one of the best teachers that he could have for, you know, learning like to using Black Whip and its various capabilities, because, you know, both having like a Spider-Man quality to them. So, yeah. And Sero is more or less Spider-Man in a certain regard, which I do much enjoy. But yes, the fact that he's consoling with some of the other students to try and get ideas, like Uraraka, I can definitely see, like, he at that point he knew that he was going to be getting the float quirk and had like a full detailing of it from All Might about, you know, it was All Might's master after all. So it makes sense that he would have like at this point quite a bit of detailed information to how the quirk worked. And it's like realizing that it's like, of the 3 quirks I have, or at that point would have, maybe, or getting close to having, it's like, he really lucked out on having friends that have similar quirks, you know? So, that's cool. I'm waiting for, like, a blend of, like, maybe he has to learn from, like, a class 1B student, you know? That would be cool. Um, so like so that's all awesome. Excuse me. The talk with All Might was a little enlightening. It either possibly gives ground that um, during All Might's research of the previous success or the previous predecessors, that he may have discovered one of them has an explosive quirk that is very similar to Bakugo's, which if it's further up the line, but he said what was it, the fourth user. So that would have been fairly up the line of things. So it wouldn't have been as empowered as, it will be in the present day. So, but he probably recognized it because he's been helping overlook, train and supervising Bakugo's training now for a good almost a year. So yeah, he would probably recognize if it's the same kind of quirk, and that's what I'm thinking he was about to get at. It's like that he either doesn't know that it's Bakugo because of time travel shenanigans, who knows, which has been the prevailing theory, as I mentioned before, and I've mentioned, I think, other times as well. But that could be like the biggest bit of evidence that it's actually heading in that direction. So the fandom may be right. Or that he was just, it was a genuine statement of like, I'm looking out for you too, But the crossing out the fourth user, that's interesting. Why? Because by that point, Bakugo already knew. So it's like, why would you mark it out? Because then that's to Deku's detriment to not know the quirk. So, interesting. But yeah, in this fight, like, Deku is wrecking Shigaraki right now because the healing isn't keeping up, because he's only at 75%, as it was reaffirmed in the last chapter. So yeah, Deku can now start doing damage, but the downside is that he's even saying that at 100%, he's still being a fair bit resistant, but because the healing is starting to falter, he's able to do some damage. But that's doing just about as much, if not more damage to himself because of using 100%. So I'm hoping that, like, if he can brace himself, by, like in the case of his left arm, he wraps it in Black Whip. What if he does that with his unbroken right arm? And then it could just, help absorb some of the impact, lessening the damage he does to himself. Because it's already been shown in the series that if he wrecks his arms, which at this point is kind of, it's happened, yeah, there may not be any going back from it. So unless he gets some kind of healing quirk or whatever from one of the predecessors, what is going to happen to his left arm? So, yeah, that should have been something I brought up like in the last few chapters when it was really obvious, but it just came to mind in this spiel. But yeah, so not a bad chapter. I do like that Deku's starting to gain ground. You're seeing how he's able to control the quirks that he has to work with now. Even though how much time he's really had with Float is still debatable. Like, did it just manifest, or has he been able to, like, kind of use it in such a way for a very short amount of time, or is it just from learning with Araka and, like, being around her all the time that, it gave him enough of an idea of how to use the quirk? Because even All Might even said that they're very much the same, except zero gravity is presumably the more powerful one, which is actually interesting because it would be like 2 generations later from when Float would have been first appeared. So yeah, in the whole quirk singularity, every generation quirks get stronger. So yeah, plus it can affect other people and objects, not just the user, presumably. So yeah, we need more information on Float, but it's nice to know that it isn't like a straight up flight quirk, so Deku isn't completely Superman at this point. So, but who's to say that won't be the case? I mean, like I said, All Might could somewhat fly or like super jump really far. So yeah, it's not to say that flight won't be something that he basically does in the future, but at the moment it is just a method of staying in midair, which is still useful, just not as useful without, you know, all or one for all, you know. So yeah, and Black Whip because he could kind of pull himself, you know, wherever he needs to go. But anyway, yeah. I think that's about all I have to say about the chapter. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Anything I misunderstood, please let me know down below. Check out my other content, see what you like, suggest things for the future. Links down below for all my social media so you can keep up with my content and also have ways to contact me. I stream on Twitch where I do gaming, and I'll tweet out when I go live. Part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Quiche-lings, is Bakugo actually one of the previous users? This is the strongest evidence. Is it finally coming true? Who knows?